Welcome to Part of My Imagination. I'm Imagination and you're the Imaginer. Welcome if this is your first time. My name is Jasmine and welcome back if this is your second or third or however many times you find yourself on my channel. Today I am going to be doing a tag. And if you haven't been following or you haven't seen my last announcement video, Princess over at Castle Library, my best friend Ashley over at Ashley J Reads on Instagram and on BooktTube, and myself decided to do a Goodreads Choice Awards, but only for Black and POC. We are obviously doing 2020 releases, so we decided to go ahead and create a tag just to kind of get it out there. Y'all have been popping off with the nominees, and I am so ready to see who comes out on top. But remember to keep casting your votes. We're stopping nominees on November 8th at midnight my time, and that's West Coast in the United States. So yes, go ahead and cast your nominees. But yes, let's just get into the Shaded Choice Award tag. All right, so the first question is, what is a new Black or POC author that you read this year? And on my list, I have Not So Pure and Simple by Lamar Giles. I actually read this in the beginning of the year. I completely forgot that I read this book. I don't own it, so I am going to have a picture up on the side so that you can see it. And this is it's not really a coming of age, but it's essentially about this boy who is head over heels for this girl that he doesn't really know. And in order to get closer to her, he decides one day at Sunday at church that he's going to take the oath of impurity. And pretty much he's not allowed to, have sex because she's in this group. And he learned some things about, like, just because you like someone doesn't mean that they're obligated to date you. And it was a really great story. I really enjoyed it. If I remember correctly, I gave it like 4.5 stars or something like that. So yeah, you should definitely check this book out. All right, the next question is, what is a debut book that I've read this year? And it is, for myself, I put A Song of Race and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. And I gave this book 4.5 stars. I really, really enjoyed this book so much. I can't wait for the second one. And oh my God, you guys should see the cover of it. But essentially, this book is following pretty much two main characters. So you have a princess who has this type of power, and her mom, and something ends up happening to her mom. And then you are following this boy who is homeless, and he's just trying to get into the city with his two sisters, and he ends up becoming the chosen one for this magical one. And essentially, they both have to kill each other without knowing that they actually have to kill each other. That's all I'm going to tell you. It is following some African folklore. So if that's your jam, or you need it to be your jam, you should go ahead and just check this book out. Okay, the next question is a 2020 release that you haven't read yet. And for this auction, I'm going to be picking Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I don't actually know what this book is about. I seen the cover and I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. And I just know that she is a Indigenous author. And I have been heavily reading Black authors this year, and I haven't really been venturing out. And I actually have, that's not true. I have read a ton of POC authors, but they were 2019 and 2018 releases. So I couldn't put them on this list. I was only trying to show 2020 releases. But if you can't find one that you read this year, but you really want to recommend them, then just go ahead and throw them on there. We're not being very picky, except for the questions that specify 2020. So yes, like I said, I don't know what this book is about, but honestly, look at the cover. That's all you need to know. The cover is honestly beautiful. So yes, next question. What is a favorite author that released a new book this year? And for that one, I went with Clean Getaway by Nick Stone. This is actually a middle grade book that came out by her. I am almost caught up with all of Nick Stone's releases. She actually released 2 books this year. She released Clean Getaway, which is her middle grade. And then she also released Dear Justice, that just came out this month. So yes, if you don't know, Clean Getaway is pretty much about this young boy who is going on a road trip with his grandmother. But he doesn't know that grandma kidnapped him, essentially. And the grandma is white, and he is obviously black or mixed, but he's a dark-skinned boy. And his grandmother is pretty much trying to, I don't really want to say repent, but essentially she's trying to make up for the mistakes that she made in her life. And she's going through all these monumental places that she went with her husband at the time. Her husband ended up dying or something like that. And this was back when it was like in the 1950s or whatever. So it was like segregation and things like that. And they didn't really like black and white integration. So that's kind of what it's following. It's kind of deep for a middle grade story. Maybe just because I'm reading it as an adult and I'm understanding the full concept of the story, but I really enjoyed it. It was really short. It's really cute. You guys should definitely check it out. All right, so the next question is, what is your favorite genre and what books would you vote to win in that genre? And if you don't know me by now, or if you can't tell by my reading, my favorite genre is actually fantasy and sci-fi. But I couldn't find a fantasy recommendation, so I just kind of like didn't. So I'm going to go with fantasy. And for me, what I would want to win is Raybearer by Jordan E. Foku. And I just read this book. And it was honestly so freaking good. It's another African-American folklore. I said African folklore. Just the magic system was honestly phenomenal. The relationships, the character growth. I mean, in the beginning, the main character did irritate me, but I just understand that there were some things that she didn't understand. I know she's growing as a character, and I know she's going to develop, which she did. But I really enjoyed I just enjoyed the entire thing, and I would love to see this book win. I thought that she was a debut novel, but it's actually not. She does have a few other books out. But yes, I know y'all seen this book. I know y'all see the cover. It's absolutely beautiful. And this is another one that I highly recommend you check out. All right, the next question is, what is your favorite book released from 2020 by a Black or POC author? And for this one, I am actually going to be going with The Only Black Girls in Town by Brandy Colbert. This is another middle grade book. I read it roughly in the beginning of the year. And essentially, it sounds exactly what the title is. There is a girl who lives in a town in California it's just a very small town. It's a surfer town. She loves to surf, which I really, really loved. I loved seeing a Black character not being stereotyped as not being able to swim. And not only is she able to swim, but she loves surfing. Like, this is her life. She loves to surf. She wants to compete and surfing competitions, and it was just a great side to see. And then it's following another girl who ends up moving into the town right across the street from her, into this old it used to be a hotel, and they quickly become friends because obviously they have something in common that she doesn't have in common with anyone else in the town. And it's a cute coming of age. You have one dealing with, there is also some LGBTQ rep. Her dads are actually dads. And then it is also dealing with a divorce and a separation, and the other girl is dealing with that and missing her father and things like that. So I really enjoyed this book, and I really think that you should check it out because there's also a smaller story within the story. So you have the story of the two girls dealing with, coming of age and things in their life that they're trying to overcome while they're also trying to solve. It's not really a mystery, but we'll say mystery. So this is another middle grade that just came through, and I really enjoyed it. All right, so the next question is kind of open. It's not really something that you have to do for 2020, but it is, who is a Black POC author or book that deserves more recognition? And for this one, I'm going to be going with Hafsal Faisal. She is the author of We Hunt the Flame. Her second book is We Free the Stars. It was actually supposed to come out this year, but it got pushed because of COVID. But yes, I do not see enough people talk about We Hunt the Flame. I see a few people. And when I say a few, I mean a very small group of people talk about We Hunt the Flame. I honestly love it. It is one of my favorite books. It is on my favorite shelves. I love it so much. I think House of Hazel just deserves the world. And they just need more recognition. And I'm so excited about the second book. So if you haven't read the first one already, I would highly, highly, highly recommend reading it and just checking out the author, period. Okay. And the next question is, what's a book you'd recommend that you don't directly identify with that's still POC? So obviously I am a black and white. So I'm going to pick a book that doesn't fall within that category. And this one was actually really hard because, like I said, this year I have been reading a lot of POC or black authors. And the POC books that I did read this year were actually releases from a few years ago. So I'm actually going to do like an honorable mention. I haven't read this book, but honestly, the cover looks phenomenal. The author is of Mexican, or she is Mexican. So I don't really know much about the book. I just know that I think it's beautiful, and it is called The Seventh Son by Lanny Forbes. And this book essentially is just following some history of the Aztec and Mayan people, and that's what kind of sold me on it. One, it's POC, and two, I'm learning something that I don't have the greatest knowledge about. And I have been trying to read books that are integrating, like, you know, some history while still being within the fantasy world. Excuse me. And this was one that just caught my eye. I actually found it when I was building the website. If you actually check out the homepage, it is on the homepage. So yes, I'm going to recommend this one because obviously I am not Mexican or Spanish or any of that. So this is the book that I'm going to be recommending. I honestly hope it's really good. And either way, if it's not, this is just a story that doesn't come from your background. So it's something that you can say like, hey, you ventured out of your comfort zone. All right. So last but not least is going to be recommending some Black POC content creators. It does not have to be just BookTube. You can go ahead and recommend blogs, Instagram, Twitter, and BookTube, or like whatever. There are some Facebook groups out there, so yeah, I don't really follow any though. But first and foremost, obviously I'm going to be recommending Princess. She is the one that had this start everything. She is my best friend. I don't know where I would be without Princess, and I cannot highly recommend her as much. Like, I don't know. There's just so many words that I can say. And it's actually her birthday month, so you should totally go subscribe to her. But I'm pretty sure anyone that is here is probably already subscribed to her anyways. So check her out. Next, I have Ashley over at Ashley J. Reads. She's also the co-creator of the Shaded Choice Awards. Again, I recently just met her because of the Shaded Choice Awards. But honestly, I really enjoyed talking to her. She definitely has a bright mind. She is open to try new things. She has great creative ideas, and I can't wait to see what content she brings to BookTube, because you can never have enough Black content creators. And then next, I have someone that just subscribed to me. I do follow Michelle over at I want to say her channel is Thor Reads. She's co-hosting the Indigenous Readathon. Indigenous, I don't know what the actual proper name of it, but I do know there is an Indigenous Readathon going on this month. But I only know of Michelle and of Brody. But I found another one. She actually subscribed to me. I'm sorry if it's not she. I didn't actually check the pronouns, so I'm just gonna say they. And it is Native Lady Book Warrior. They post a ton of Indigenous author books. They do a ton of reviews, and I just thought that was awesome because I am definitely slacking in the Indigenous books on my shelves, so I can definitely pick up in that area. And I found her channel after she subscribed to me, or they subscribed to me, and I am super excited to actually watch their content and see what books I need to pick up. And last but not least, I actually have a reading with Mo. I don't see a lot of people talk about reading with Mo. And I just love her channel. She's so soft-spoken. She really enjoys the classics. She gives me a lot of book recommendations of books that I know I'm not going to read, but there's just something about her channel that I love watching. So I think that you also should definitely check her out. And there also are a ton. I can sit here all day giving you book recommendations, or not book, but like content creator recommendations, but I would be sitting here all day doing that. So I am going to have some down in the description, and also after the Shaded Choice Awards are over, we are going to actually have a tab on the website for Black and POC content creators. So just go ahead and check them out, or be on the lookout for that tab. It's obviously going to take some work, but you are more than welcome to submit as well. And I will probably have some more link down in the description. But yes, that is the end of the Shaded Choice tag. I really hope you guys enjoyed the tag. I hope you guys will do it. Hashtag Youvebeenshaded. That is the hashtag for the Shaded Choice Awards. Hashtag Youvebeenshaded or hashtag the Shaded Choice Awards. Go ahead and tag me in your videos. I would love to see them. I would love to watch them. I hope that you guys do them. I'll probably just tag a few people anyways on Twitter, because that's the thing that I do. So yes, that is all that I have for you guys today. Be sure to check out my description where you can find easy ways to contact me, as well as all the books and channels that I talked about. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if not, just imagine that you did and come back again. Until next time, keep imagining.